Glad to meet you all in this new session. Today we will learn the textual comprehension, grammar and vocabulary of the Unit 5 of the 9th Standard English textbook SSC Board, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. On to Part A. A havoc of flood. Firstly, let's get into the comprehension part. The first question. What mood is highlighted throughout the description? Pick out the words that suggest the mood. A gloomy mood is highlighted throughout the description. You can also say a sad mood is highlighted throughout the description. The words that suggest the sad mood are shattering, trauma, heartrending, pathetic, catastrophe, grief-struck, aghast, pull down faces and suffered bitterly. You can even put them in inverted commas. The words you can put them in inverted commas also. On to the second question. Which of the scenes in the text has moved you the most? Why? So we have some pictures in the text. Which among them has moved you? Moved you means which has shaken your heart. That means shaken you with sympathy and pity for those people. Which picture? The scene where the people are stranded on the roads has moved me the most because here we find the people in a helpless condition, forced to spend their day on the roadside with no choice but to suffer with hunger and thirst. I think their houses got collapsed, so they have brought whatever belongings they could get and are eagerly waiting for some assistance from the government. So we can see those people eagerly waiting and in a helpless condition. So that picture has moved us the most. On to the third question. Who played the key role in the rescue operation of the floods? What steps were taken by the government? The government played the key role in the rescue operation of the floods. What steps were taken by the government? The government sought the help. Sought is the past tense of seek. Seek means go and find. Okay. The government sought the help of the army, navy and air force. The disaster management response force from Tamil Nadu. The government even sent relief teams to distribute the emergency relief supplies among the flood survivors and arranged 30 relief camps to provide food and shelter to at least 25,000 people rendered homeless. So these were the steps taken by the government, finding help for the people and arranging for certain things to rescue the people, to help the flood survivors. On to the fourth question. The flood victims were looking on with wide open eyes for some help to meet their needs. Can you guess what their needs may have been? Their needs may have been drinking water, food, some warm clothing and a shelter. That is what the basic requirements of humans are. So that is what they might have been eagerly waiting for. On to the fifth question. Help always pays gratitude. In what way is this statement true in the light of the context? No sooner had the flood survivors received the clothes than they expressed their gratitude with the pull-down faces of 2 sleepless nights. Even the widow Rajeshwari was thankful and expressed her gratitude with a beaming face, saying that she would remain ever thankful for the help she received. Thus, the statement, help always pays gratitude, comes true in this context. So, we are quoting two incidents or two places wherein we find in the text how much the help done to others is always repaid through gratitude. Gratitude is a sense of thankfulness. So, how people are thankful for the help we do to them. On to the sixth question. How did the roaring floods disturb the lives of the people of Kurnool? The roaring floods inundated their houses. Inundated means entered into their houses. The water entered their houses. Inundated their houses, destroyed their crops, killed their cattle, washed away their belongings, and left them in a horrible situation. The flood waters had really brought their lives to a standstill. They could neither move forward nor backward. They were just in a stranded condition, a standstill condition. So their entire lifestyle or their livestock was lost, and their life was completely disturbed. On to the 7th question. What relief measures would you suggest for the flood victims? The flood victims can be given provision. Provision means ration. Ration means food grains. The flood victims can be given provision for a month, and some clothes and a temporary shed can be constructed for them to stay till they recover from their financial crisis. So they have lost all their belongings and all their valuables are lost. So they need some time to come out from that collapse. Meanwhile, the government can help them with these things. On to the 8th question. What inspiration can you draw from the last 2 paragraphs of the lesson? The last 2 paragraphs of the lesson inspire us to donate generously. The more we give to the needy, the more the blessings of God we get. So the more we give, the more the blessings we get from God. That is what we learn. On to the vocabulary part. Read the following sentence and notice the meaning of the underlined word. They reached their dwelling places hoping a bright morning next day. In this sentence, bright means full of light or shining strongly or happy. Identify the meaning of bright in each of the following sentences and write your own sentences using bright in different meanings. So this is a homonym, that is one word with the same pronunciation and the same spelling but has different meanings, right? So let's get into the exercise. I like bright colors. What's the meaning of bright? Bright means shining or sparkling. The sentence with bright in this context is bright colors are attractive. On to the second sentence. Tejaswini gave me a bright smile. Bright means radiant, charming. The baby's smile was very bright. So here it was very radiant and charming. Sindhu is a bright student. What does the bright mean here? Intelligent. Bright students score good marks in the exam. This is the example. On to the fourth sentence. Yamuna has bright ideas. Bright means brilliant, clever. That is, we need bright people to work with us. We need clever people to work with us. On to the fifth sentence. This young player has a bright future. What does bright mean here? A promising or a successful. The sentence is, if you work hard today, you will have a bright future. On to the sixth sentence. We took rest in a bright room. What does bright mean here? Well lit and good lighting is there. We should study in a bright room. On to the next bit. Several people and things are involved in rescue operations. There is a description of a flood rescue operation. Complete the concept map given below with suitable information from the text. So here we have the, you can say as a flow chart, we have how we have the tree diagram. The same way we have flood rescue, who were all involved in this task. First is Navy, then relief camp, boats. So these are the things given. We need to fill up the rest of the places where it is blank. So all were involved. You can write army, Yeah, and you can write voluntary organizations. You can write Indian Air Force. And you can write disaster management response force. You can write other people also were involved, the relief teams. Also you can, the government also we can write. They were all involved in the flood rescue. On to the grammar part. Read the following sentences from the text and notice the underlined words or expressions. No sooner had the relief team arrived there than their joy knew no bounds. So this very sentence, how would be changed using scarcely is, they had scarcely arrived at their destinations when the rain poured down. Okay, so this is how we use no sooner and scarcely. Similar to scarcely, we have hardly and rarely also. They are used in the similar terms. Right, now let us see what the exercise is. Combine the following sentences using the expressions no sooner than, scarcely when, or hardly when. So first one has been done for us. Let's go with the second one. I arrived at the station, then the bus came in. These two sentences we have to first join. Okay, which happened first? Arrived at the station happened first. The second one is the bus came. So we will put the first incident in the past perfect tense. So here the sentence would be, I had arrived at the station when the bus came in. So now we will use no sooner. How would we go about it? No sooner had I arrived at the station than the bus came in. The same sentence using scarcely. I had scarcely arrived at the station when the bus came in. The same using hardly. I had hardly arrived at the station when the bus came in. On to the third sentence. I closed the door, somebody knocked again. Which happened first? I closed the door, that happened first. Then somebody knocked again. So the sentence becomes like this. After I had closed the door, somebody knocked again. Now keeping this in mind, we are going to use no sooner. No sooner had I closed the door than somebody knocked again. Using scarcely, how would we say? I had scarcely closed the door when somebody knocked again. Or using hardly, how will we do? I had hardly closed the door when somebody knocked again. On to the fourth sentence. She finished the meal. She started feeling hungry again. So how would you convert with the sequence of the actions? After she had finished the meal, she started feeling hungry again. Now let's try using no sooner. No sooner had she finished the meal than she started feeling hungry again. Using scarcely, she had scarcely finished the meal when she started feeling hungry again. Using hardly, she had hardly finished the meal when she started feeling hungry again. On to the fifth sentence. Madhavi opened the door, the dog entered the room. Which happened first? Madhavi opened the door. Then the dog entered. Right? So first let's join them. When Madhavi had opened the door, the dog entered the room. Now let's use no sooner. No sooner had Madhavi opened the door than the dog entered the room. Using scarcely, Madhavi had scarcely opened the door when the dog entered the room. How would we use hardly? Madhavi had hardly opened the door when the dog entered the room. On to the editing part. Read the following passage. Every numbered sentence has an error. Identify and edit it. On to the first sentence. Prevention is better than cure is the principle we followed today. Here we have today. Today is present tense. So the followed word is the wrong word. You have to change it into follow. But on ancient times, people bothered about their health only when they fell ill. Ancient times is a period of time. So we should use in ancient times. On to the third sentence. But now the physicians has discovered the factors responsible for patients' diseases. Here physicians is plural. So the auxiliary verb has is wrong. We need to use have. On to the fourth sentence. A physician should have a thorough professional knowledge, patience, but sympathy towards patients to cure diseases. Here but shows contrast, but we don't find any contrasting word. So here the word but is wrong, and instead of but we should use and. On to the fifth sentence. Nearly 20 centuries ago, a great man named Charaka made certain remarks related to human health and diseases in his famous Ayurvedic treatise Charaka Samhita. So this is a past event. So we should use made. So the wrong word is make. Make should be kept with made. On to part B. The poem. Grabbing everything on the land. The poet is Lily Usher. Answer the following questions. What is the central theme of the poem? The central theme of the poem is the damage caused by tsunami. On to the second question. What does the hand refer to? Where was the hand born? The hand refers to the wave. The hand was born in the belly of the ocean. On to the third question. Identify the most striking line in the poem. So here you have a choice. Whatever you feel is the most striking one, most catchy one, that you can write. According to me, this sentence is very striking. The line brutally killed by a hungry hound is the most striking line in the poem. So here we find the wave as a hungry beast. So for me, this is a striking line. If you find any other sentence in the poem to be very striking, you can write that one also. On to the fourth question. Describe the damage caused to the mankind due to tsunami. Locate the words or expressions which tell the fury of tsunami. So what are the damages? Tsunami caused a huge loss of life and property. That is, many people were killed and many of the constructions, infrastructures, properties of the people was damaged, collapsed and destroyed. What are the expressions? The expressions uprooting trees, smashing homes, dreadful might, crashing and crunching and tearing apart, brutally killed, tell the fury of tsunami. Fury means anger. How angry tsunami was is shown in these expressions. On to the fifth question. Why do you think only a few could understand the meaning of tsunami? I think only a few could understand the meaning of tsunami because a few of them who witnessed this tsunami survived. Rest of them lost their lives in the tsunami because only few of them survived. Rest of them did not survive. Though they looked at or they saw the tsunami, they were not there to describe about it or tell about it or share their feelings. Now only a few have survived, so they could understand the meaning of tsunami. On to part C, the ham radio. The first question, what are the places in which disaster management becomes imperative? Disaster management system becomes imperative in public places and even in business establishments and important commercial joints where people move around in large numbers. When the crowd is more, the safety becomes an important factor. On to the second question. How can we empower the disaster management crew? Crew means group of people doing some work. Okay. We can empower the disaster management crew by giving them systematic training and providing them with the best appliances. Appliances means equipments, electronic gadgets. The best appliances which might help them to communicate the condition they are in and the status of the calamity in the region they work for to the disaster response team. So we can help them by doing all these favors, by giving them the best appliances and giving a systematic training. On to the third question. In what way does amateur radio become inevitable in times of natural calamities? How it becomes the source of communication, how it becomes necessary. Inevitable means necessary, essential. During natural calamities, the usual mode of communication like phone or mobile become inoperative. Inoperative means not working. Underground communication lines get disabled due to flooding. Cell towers are blown up or choked. Backup generators run out of fuel. At this juncture, amateur radio, which uses high frequency radio sets, becomes inevitable to convey the accurate picture of the situation on the ground, requirements and the key information to the disaster response force. So here, when all the other means of communication become inoperative, not in a condition to work, that time the amateur radio, which uses high frequency, that becomes imperative, necessary, essential to convey what is the situation, who all should be informed. All those authorities will be informed in time with the ham radio. On to the fourth question. Cite the disasters in which amateur radio operators commenced disaster relief when other systems failed. Amateur radio operators commenced disaster relief when other systems failed during the Gujarat earthquake on the 26th January 2001. Then September 11 attacks on the World Trade Center. The 2003 North America blackout. Hurricane Katrina and Sichuan earthquake in 2008. So these are the various calamities where ham radio came handy. On to the fifth question. Explore other incidents in which ham radio operators can take up rescue operations. Hams have special session to handle medical and other emergency traffic on their daily needs to save people in the remote places who are struggling for life or awaiting the arrival of an essential drug from another town. So here ham radios have a special team in providing the medicines, the drugs, or the people who are in need of the drugs. They would be communicating, they would be providing the information to the medicine, to the pharmacy which can provide the medicine to them. So this is what the ham radio operators do rest of the time when there are no calamities. On to the sixth question. What is the central theme of the essay? The central theme of the essay is the importance and significance of ham radio. On to the seventh question. List the criteria to qualify for becoming a radio amateur. In order to qualify for becoming a radio amateur, one should be 12 years old and qualify in an examination conducted by Ministry of Communication, Government of India, and obtain license for operating a radio station. To become eligible for the examination, one should undergo a training of 2 months and qualify a simple test conducted in Morse code, communication procedure, and basic electronics. Hope this session was useful to you in getting to know about the grammar, vocabulary and comprehension. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Do comment in the comment box and click the like button if it was useful to you. Thank you and have a great day.